Well, what can I say about tonight's Monday Night Raw? Hopefully without being interrupted. I would say it was a very interesting Monday Night Raw. Very intriguing, well, let's just say very intriguing. I mean, it built up Summerslam, which it needed to do. Now, a few key highlights on it was the fact that we began Raw with CM Punk and Triple H. Now, apparently, as I've mentioned before, this is building up to Triple H and CM Punk at a pay-per-view. I was thinking maybe SummerSlam, but that's not going to happen. Instead, it possibly looks like, from what I've read online, Survivor Series. Now, why would it be Survivor Series? Well, according to some reports, it's because obviously right now it's probably the best option they have. Now, there are a few other options they decided to how they can build up to that, and a lot of them are going towards turning Triple H heel, which would be successful, maybe not, or turning CM Punk heel, or whatever. Basically, one of the other options they have is if that match takes place at Survivor Series, is to have Triple H possibly on the Raw before Survivor Series beat up and bloody CM Punk. Now, basically, this would have to be approved by USA before they would do it. And that might happen, may not. Because, from what I understand, CM Punk now has some creative control over his character. So basically, obviously, that was his stipulation in the contract. Let me do what I want with my character. Let me have some say. Okay, so CM Punk apparently, according to reports, has control of his character and probably will have some creative control over to which direction this will go. But right now, the highlight was basically they kind of had an exchange. Triple H kind of let CM Punk know, hey, if I wanted to, I would beat your ass right now. I would rip off all those tattoos on you. And basically, he just threatened to kick his ass. So, anyway, you could almost tell, and I agree with some of the people that have already reviewed this, there was some real tension there between the two, or real dislike. But Triple H came out and basically called CM Punk out on why he came back. CM Punk said he came back because, I can't think of it right now, as he said I guess he felt like he needed the need to come back or something, I don't know. He just came back because of certain reasons. Now Triple H counters that by saying, well, here's the real truth. You didn't come back because of what you said. You came back because you needed to come back. You needed a place to drop your pipe bombs. Because if you drop it in a place no one's around to listen for, then what's the point? Basically saying that, basically stating, in my opinion, Triple H is saying, hey, you go back to, let's say, Ring of Honor, or if you go to Japan or wherever, who's going to listen to your pipe bombs there? Who's going to let you say what you want to say there? Or whatever. Well, anyway, after that, this leads us into our first match of the night, which is the Divas Battle Royal, which was won by Beth Phoenix, who apparently has done a heel turn. Now, I don't know how long this heel turn will take place, because it looks like it's outnumbering some of the heels that you got on both some of the babyface divas. But like I said, if you're going to turn someone heel, you need to turn someone babyface, so apparently Beth was the choice. But how long will it be? I don't know, but I will not be surprised if this integrates, somehow gets mixed into this whole CM Punk situation. Because remember, CM Punk and Beth are dating. So, it wouldn't be surprised if it gets thrown in there. Because here's what I want you to catch. I want you to look at this as a clue. Beth Phoenix said to Kelly Kelly that her days as the pretty little bimbo champion, or her reign as the pretty little bimbo champion are over. Basically stating that as soon as I get the title back, girls like you are not going to get a shot at this because you don't deserve it, or whatever. I'm not really sure. And then we have a few other backstage promos. We have one with R-Truth and The Miz. We have John Cena being interviewed. Then we have some other matches as well. We have R-Truth and The Miz taking on John Morrison and Rey Mysterio. Decent match. Decent tag team match. R-Truth and Miz do win. That one, like I said, was a decent tag team match. Then we had another, I think, an interview segment with John Cena, and he's just saying, hey, whatever Triple H is going to say, I want to be there to see what, takes place. So anyway, that happens. And then I think we have a tag team match with McGillicuddy and Otunga, still the tag champs, taking on Santino and Zack Ryder. McGillicuddy and Otunga win the match, which I think pissed off some fans, because one week you give Zack Ryder a win on Monday Night Raw and then you cause him to lose in a tag team match. So anyway, Zack Ryder and Santino lose the match. And is it me, or was Otunga and McGillicuddy using the same music that Justin Gabriel used at Money in the Bank? I don't know. Maybe somebody made an audio mix-up or something. Then we had another backstage interview with Triple H and everything. And then we had another match, Del Rio against Evan Bourne. Del Rio wins. Kofi Kingston comes out to make the save because Del Rio was going to try to break the arm of Evan, like I said, and Kofi came out, so it looks like they may have a match down the line again. Then we have our main event segment of the night. Triple H comes out, gets ready to explain the situation with the two WWE champions. Then John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace, comes out. John Laurinaitis, Johnny Ace comes out and basically tells Triple H that if Vince McMahon was here, Vince McMahon would want you to do the right thing. He knows you should do the right thing, and that's strip John Cena of the title. So what does this tell me with Laurinaitis coming out? Well, I'll explain that in a minute. Well, this prompts John Cena to come out and basically state that the only reason Laurinaitis is saying this is because Laurinaitis is upset that John Cena punched him in the face. And John Cena says, hey, you know what? I feel like I should do it again. And Triple H is saying, hey, I have no problem with it. Go ahead. Laurinaitis steps out of the ring. And then out comes CM Punk. And they kind of have a bit of exchange. Him and Cena have a bit of an exchange. Then Triple H says, hey, stop writing like little girls. Here's what's going to happen. Because here's what's going to happen. And he announces what many felt was already going to be announced. It'll be CM Punk, John Cena to determine the undisputed WWE champion. Now, a few things about this segment. John Cena, of course, possibly, as many would probably figure, go over at SummerSlam. Maybe. But then again, CM Punk might go over. We don't know, because like I said, CM Punk has some creative control. So that means he can decide whether he wants to go over or not. He wants to let John Cena go over or not. We'll find out. But if he has to move on to this feud with Triple H, then yeah, I think he's got to let John Cena go over. Just my opinion. Just my opinion, mind you. And also this whole Laurinaitis deal coming out, I think what this is going to lead towards, if they don't turn Triple H heel, and it's kind of like, just an intense situation between him and Punk, that this whole Laurinaitis deal is going to basically lead eventually to Vince McMahon coming back and taking back his job as a CEO. I think we all know that's what's going to happen on screen. I think we all know that's what's going to happen, because if Laurinaitis is coming out doing this now, who's to say he won't do it again? And again, I feel it's going to lead to Vince McMahon coming back and retaking his position, or trying to retake his position as CEO. It's just an opinion, folks, just an opinion, but that's what I see. So right now, as far as SummerSlam goes, the matches are on the SmackDown side, Randy Orton and Christian, possibly Sheamus and Mark Henry. And on Raw side, we got Kelly, Beth Phoenix and Kelly, Divas title, and CM Punk, John Cena, title for title, undisputed championship match. So overall, what did I think of Raw? Well, I'd say this. I'd say it was a little down from last week and for the previous 2 weeks. But I'll say it was okay. It was intriguing, very interesting. Does build up SummerSlam very nicely to, where I probably want to order it, but I probably won't, knowing me. But we never know. So we'll just have to wait and see what occurs in the next 2 weeks. Because the next 2 weeks, because next week, of course, is going to be the one that tells it all. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And I give it a 10 out of 10. And I'm out.